again?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
That's the audio. Audio.
Hi.
You know the background music. You take it off. No, off.
Oh, yeah, you want
Yeah, good. Thanks. Sorry. My lady, the audio, please. Let's test.
Hi.
Again.
Hello.
You could raise it up there. Again about my lady.
Good afternoon.
All of them.
Are you good?
I know about the move. Yeah, but look.
Which cameras do you want me to watch? Here, there.
Just look straight ahead.
Anywhere you want to go. You get you.
Just say anything.
Say
Good
something.
afternoon.
Okay. Hold on.
No man like me. I watch myself.
Talk again.
Yeah, again, good now.
Hi.
Yeah.
All right, my lady.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Candace Mohan TT. I'm your host this afternoon. I'm hosting this event on behalf of Chef Jason. I'd like to welcome everyone, online viewers, special invited guests, friends, and family. Tonight is a special night as we celebrate something very auspicious. And we're celebrating a very great achievement that Jason has accomplished. And I will take pride in announcing his presence, and I'm glad to introduce Chef Jason Peru on his accomplishment tonight, which is he's going to introduce to the world his new and brand new Impregnation of Flavour cookbook. I would like to welcome Chef Jason to speak to you all now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A special welcome to members of the media and everyone watching at home via the World Wide Web. We are all here today to celebrate the launch of my new cookbook, The Impregnation of Flavour. This is my contribution to the Caribbean and the rest of the world as my culinary statement throughout 18 years of carefully constructed and crafted recipes that showcase and chronicle some of my best recipes and well-guarded culinary secrets. When I started my career at a tender age of 17 years old, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have had the fortitude or even the motivation to even produce my culinary work through a publication. Even at a young age, I knew that such a venture would encompass thousands of hours of work and concentration with immense levels of diligence and accuracy. In addition, the ability to craft culinary creations to perfection with the correct appeal to attract audiences sounded so scary to me. It meant that I would be putting myself out there through printed form and open up myself to the scrutiny as well as intelligent praises of the world. You see, I lacked the confidence to believe in myself and didn't think that anything that I put forth, cuisine-wise, would be up to par. I was always afraid of being judged by my peers harshly and never living up to an accepted standard in my sector. Yes, I was shy and easily intimidated, and this is how I started my career. However, I quietly wrote down my crafted recipes, methods, crazy culinary ideas, and formulas and kept them close to me. And yes, you would read more about this in my introduction in my book. But what I did do was become very explicit in my methodology in writing my recipes to the point where I too started to elevate my own self-esteem in the kitchen. It sounds funny, but to be quite honest, I made myself become so proficient in formulas that they became foolproof whenever I offered my recipes to novices to try and was given praises in return when they then executed it on their own. It made me feel good. Since then, my career skyrocketed, achieving 4 national scholarships to international culinary universities and traveling all over the world and absorbing as much culture, food traditions, norms, and varied world cuisines. I began working in restaurants all over the world with some of the best award-winning top chefs and TV pioneers. I was lecturing at the Culinary University as a culinary professor, consulting for restaurants and hotels, both locally and abroad, and still managed to produce over 11 different TV cooking shows in Trinidad, Canada, Barbados, United States, Venezuela, Africa, and so many other countries. My days of being shy were long gone, and I became Chef Jason, the bubbling star of the Caribbean, colorful, vibrant, and full of exuberance. Throughout my years, the beautiful people I met along my journey would constantly ask if I had a cookbook, or when is my cookbook coming out. Again, I didn't give that task much thought. But as years rolled by, I started to slowly self-actualize, and I realized that it was indeed time to share some of my great culinary ideas and secrets to the world. As a TV chef, and also a traveling chef, I found it necessary to teach and share my experiences with everyone and make food affable, but most importantly, create a book that would help raise the culinary confidence of everyone who picked it up and read it. You see, my greatest goal in life as a student chef who was training under my professors was to simply be able to do one thing, and that was to be proficient enough one day to pick up any culinary book, magazine, or even watch a cooking show and say to myself, I could make that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I now wish for everyone to be able to do when they purchase my book. I want to give you that confidence. I hereby refer to this book as my luxurious offering to the gracious year of 2020. In addition, I do possess the temerity to state that this book would now be the Caribbean's new culinary staple. The Impregnation of Flavour would not only be a paradigm shift in the standard and quality of published work from the Caribbean, but the content of the book's production impeccably represents internationally crafted recipes that utilize and showcase local ingredients from islands in their finest glory, coupled with unique and groundbreaking flavor formulas that would revolutionize the way people cook. I also pay homage to my homeland of Trinidad and Tobago by dedicating a Trini section that showcases and breaks down some of the most quintessential and ubiquitous dishes which are all enjoyed locally on our island and even throughout the Caribbean. One of the greatest advantages of my book is the explicit methodology of each recipe, which I guarantee will empower and guide readers to success each time they try any of my perfectly crafted creations. Anyone who watches my TV and online shows will attest to the level of instruction and detail that I afford to my viewers when I'm cooking, teaching, explaining any concept to anyone. This I am very proud of, and it sets my work apart from any other older cookbook out there and on the market right now. Apart from this, I have included never before seen pictures during my childhood while cooking at home with my family, as well as my schooling and culinary university days, and even behind the scenes footage of my television shows. So you do get a view into my life. I have also matched my recipes with the best food photography from the Caribbean, and has even secured the talent of ace food photographer and lighting master Russell Dos Ramos to do the photography for this book. My book design and layout was done by graphic veteran artist Christian Alexis of Six Dollar Designs. Ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee that in the next 20 years, the last 20 years, the Caribbean has not seen a cookbook of this nature, like the Impregnation of Flavour. And I feel confident that firstly, Trinidad and Tobago would be proud of it. I am also very excited for readers to procure their copy, as I have included backstories for some of the recipes in which explain my unadulterated experiences, inspirations and reasons of why I created these dishes and what makes them so special to me. Yes, this book does make me vulnerable to everyone now, as they would own part of my childhood, my relationships, my schooling, my lows and highs, and even family secrets. But I am proud of it, as it helps form part of my legacy as Chef Jason and a patriot of this great country. I now say to everyone listening, this book belongs to you. It's yours to be proud of tonight. I welcome you to share this auspicious feeling and enjoy this luxurious moment in my life as I present to you the Impregnation of Flavour. I thank you. I will now take questions from the media as it relates to the book, or any queries, comments, or concerns from any of the guests.
How many of the recipes in the book would you say are original Chef Jason Peru's
I would
recipes?
say about 65% of them are from recipes that I created in my mind. I would say the other 35% are inspired recipes that I would have seen, heard, or maybe conversed with other chefs and came up with and created adaptations of them.
And how long did you take to actually put the entire book together?
At the tender age of 17 years old, I've been writing down my recipes. I never thought I would have done a cookbook. So this is actually 18 years of work compiled in this book right now. To bring everything together, it took about 2.5 years, with the photography being the most challenging aspect.
Is there a virtual book on the internet as well?
Or would you be considering virtual?
To be honest with you, a year ago, even before this whole COVID scenario, I was considering the virtual aspect of the book. I was actually thinking of even reading the recipes out and having them on a CD. So you could then take the book, put it on your easel or your stand while you're cooking. Or, instead of that, put a tablet on your stand and you have me read the recipes out to you. Give little jokes, little ditties, little anecdotes inside there to actually make the book as unique as possible. This is a long-term goal of mine. I'm looking to do it within the next year and a quarter. So yes, I'm working along that way. I actually have the virtual book in my possession right now. To get it onto the platform, whether it be on Amazon, Kindle, and so forth like that, will be the next task in which I'll have to work on. Yes, so but the infrastructure is there already.
How can someone obtain a copy of the book?
So that's the greatest challenge right now, obviously, being that we are locked off, our barriers are locked down. So I launched this during the period of Christmas, as you would know, and it makes the perfect Christmas gift locally. And it is available here at the Candice Mohan's salon, and I will be getting it out into prime establishments throughout Trinidad within the next week. I have a website, www.chefjasonperu.com, where you can fill it out, and I'm gearing that towards local as well as international. As long as you fill out the form, it comes into our system, and I can then say, okay, I'll make a call and say, you can go to this location, whether you're from south, north, east, west, or whatever the case may be. And if you're international, we are pooling that list, and I have well over 75 orders already within the past 2 days for international orders going to New Zealand, Switzerland, New York, Canada, and so forth. So we are shipping. So the website, www.chefjasonperu.com, gives you all the information, but if you literally want it now, you can come to Wombover Place at the Candice Mohan Salon, and she has it in her possession at this point in time.
Could you remind us of the cost of the book?
The book is selling for $400 at this time.
Okay, and is it only available in paperback, or is it going to be in hardcover as well?
The hardcover, that is like the cardboard, the hardcover, will come at a later time. I'm thinking after this edition is finished, I will bring out the hardcover. At this point in time, this cover is actually I believe it's a 16 CS grade, which is actually a very durable quality. As you can see when I hold it up, it's not magazine quality of that nature. It is sewn and bounded, and it's quite thick. The average weight is about 4 pounds. Contains well over 200 and something recipes inside of it. It also has appetizers, it has salads, main courses, snacks, desserts, and even dishes that are paired together, like if you're doing maybe a Valentine's Day dinner, a romantic dinner, something of that nature, an anniversary-bounded occasion, there are events and themes within it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Where did you study this art?
Where did I study?
The art.
The art. So I assume you're talking about culinary arts.
Yes.
I studied both locally and abroad. I studied at the Trinidad Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, where I did an associate degree in culinary management in 2 years. I was awarded 4 scholarships to attend Johnson & Wales University in Miami, Florida, where I did an additional associate degree in culinary artistry, then a bachelor's in sciences degree in culinary management. I then returned back home and did a master's degree in marketing and a minor in media. So I am a certified chef, and I knew that I was going into television production, radio production, even publishing. So I also did my master's in marketing to be able to market myself as a brand, whether it be on TV and different forms of the media.
If you were to enter a competition with other chefs all
Yes.
over the world, what would be your master dish?
Actually, I entered a competition 5 years ago against Bobby Flay in the Food Network. I proposed, may sound corny, but you do what you're strong at. I proposed 2 dishes. He classified it as rice and peas, I classified it as pilau. The second dish I did was a quintessential curry duck. He said yes to the rice and peas, but when I did the curry duck, I never heard back from him. So we did the Skype meetings and so forth like that. But apart from that, there were some issues with the visas, and if I were to win, how I would get paid, because I am not a citizen of the United States, or neither did I possess an account across their financial account. So they looked at issues with taxation, and if I were to win, how much I would have to give back to the government and so forth like that. So it was giving me a lot of headaches at that point in time, and I just said, hey, relax, it's okay, it's all good. I thought it was a delay tactic, nevertheless, that's probably, if I could overcome it, they would then accept me, but it went on for months.
What advice would you give? Oh, somebody talking? Oh, what advice would you give to young persons, like, who would want to go into culinary arts and into cooking, but they don't have the confidence that you probably would not have had back then, but now you have the confidence? What word of advice would you give to them?
This is a very challenging sector. I'll be honest with you. Even when I got involved in it at 17 years old, after studying for 2 years, when I became 19, I realized, I said, damn, this is a hard area to work in. Very laborious mentally, emotionally, physically, on your body, your mind, family, everything like that. But it's something that I loved. And a lot of my colleagues who went to school with me actually fell aside because it took a toll on them. You have to stick at it if it's something that you are really passionate about. I was a very fat boy and I love food. And that drove me to become a chef. As simple and corny as it sounds, that is true. But it also helped me to become healthier and to bring back my weight. By traveling and appreciating different cultures throughout the course of the world actually helped illuminate my passion for it. And I must say, stay true to it. If it's something that you're truly passionate about, after a while, it's not a job. It just becomes your love. And it doesn't become a task after that. You have to stick at it. And I think pretty much any job that you endure, whether you're an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever the case may be, it is important that you stick at it and don't give it up. Because in the beginning, the first 2 to 3 years, you're going to realize how challenging whatever job that you go into, because you're starting at the bottom. And you got to build your way up. Build your way up and you'll be thankful.
Any plans for a restaurant anytime soon?
No. There's no plans for a restaurant at this point in time. I've always held close to my decision not to, because when I studied in Miami, Florida, I worked at restaurants that were starting from the beginning, and I saw the hard work that went into the financial sacrifices that had to be made by the businessmen. And there's something that we say in our culinary studies, is that if a restaurant lasts over 2.5 years, then it probably has some ability to continue. I believe the restaurant industry is so saturated right now, and I don't want to get into that market. I'd rather use whatever skills and talents that I have right now, with being on television and doing entertainment work, to really shine at this point in time.
Chef, what's your favorite food?
To be honest with you, well, there's a difference between my favorite dish and my favorite food. My favorite food in terms of classification would be authentic Indian food. When I mean authentic Indian food, I don't mean chan and aloo. I mean, I love a good matar paneer. I love naan. I love rogan josh. I love my vindaloo. I love my Cantonese chicken, all these different things. So It's something that I love. My favorite dish, as simple as it is, I always tell people if I'm on the electric chair or if I have to be, have to die tomorrow, my last meal will be shake and bake wings. Cuckoo. Cuckoo, callaloo, fried rice, potato salad, and a cold shandy sorrel. Anyone else? Many people here. More questions?
I got one question.
Yes.
But it is the same thing. A humble question, a layman's question.
Yes.
If I say it wrong, please forgive me.
Yes.
Why did you use or choose pilau as a competition, knowing that pilau is a peasant food developed in Trinidad here, now turned delicacy all over the world? The same thing as ratatouille in Paris.
Right. So the beauty, I boast about pilau wherever I go, because I find it's one of the most simplistic dishes that feeds a large amount of people, which came out of that peasantry, as you speak about. Throughout the world, we have different rice-based dishes: arroz con pollo, paella, biryani, all these different areas from different walks. Jambalaya from the south. I believe pilau is near and dear to us, and it's something that we're very proud about. A big discussion that I always get into is what is our national dish of Trinidad and Tobago. I always think that, I'm not stating that pilau is what it is, but it's something that we are very proud about, whether it be a beef pilau, chicken pilau, whatever the case may be. And I think it's something, the beauty about it is that in the year 2008, when I went to Africa, Uganda, Africa, I made pilau. And it blew them away just by the first step of taking sugar and burning it. They were like, what are you doing? You're making dessert, you're making caramel. I said, no, this is what we call a stew. This is how we develop the color of our chicken or whatever protein. And then when we added the rice, they realized that everything came together nice. It was a well-rounded pot. I'm very proud of pilau, nevertheless, even though it's as simple as it is and ubiquitous throughout the different restaurants in Trinidad and Tobago. I hold it close to my heart. I make a damn good pilau too. It's in the book. It's in the book, yes. I have a training section in the book. You'll find doubles, you'll find pilau, you'll find a good curry goat, curry chicken, curry chana and aloo, you'll find roti inside there. I pride my book on being of international standard. I boast about it. I basically say it's the best damn book outside right now. Tell me about it. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears inside of it. I'm not only narcissistic about it, but I've worked very hard on that, the photography on it. But still, in the middle of the book, when you open it up, like they say you can find a train in the middle of everything, the train section is in the middle of the book. It's red, white, and black. I think it's very important that we stay proud to what we are and what we do, and we showcase it to the world. I've been getting orders from New Zealand, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Holland, United States, Canada for this book. So I know it's going to represent Trinidad and Tobago very well. I'm very proud of that.
Okay.
Any more questions?
We're good here.
You're good? Any questions? All right, so as I conclude, I want to say thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you for everyone who has supported me during this this task. I would say it's been very hard, ups and downs. This book would have come out much earlier, April this year. However, COVID had struck us and we cut back a lot on our photography and our budget. I have to say thank you to everyone in terms of the design team and the editing team. Thank you for everything that you've done thus far. And I want to say God bless you all. Please check out the book. Purchase it. It makes a fine Christmas gift. And check it out on all social media forms if you have any other further questions on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so forth like that. And thank you everyone for coming out here tonight.